Hi, I'm Kira, and I'm going to take you through a Pilates workout using only yourself and a mat. Roll all the way down to your back, one vertebrae at a time. Finding a neutral spine, letting there be a small space between your lower back and the mat. Take a few deep breaths and set an intention for your workout. Taking deep inhales in through the nose and out through the mouth. Reach the arms overhead. On your exhale, peel your head, neck, and shoulders away from the floor. Inhale, lower everything back down. Option to have your hands behind your head to support the weight of your head. Really peeling shoulder blades away from the floor, not just lifting the head. Finding that deep exhale at the top. Holding it at the top of your ab curl, little pulses of the arms down towards the floor, holding the shoulder blades at a hover. Option to lift your legs into a tabletop position or extend them out on a diagonal. Keeping the tailbone heavy on the mat, resisting the urge to arch in the lower back. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Draw the knees into the chest and lower the head, neck, and shoulders. We'll take the arms long by our side, take your legs into tabletop, and tap one toe down to the mat at a time. Again, resisting the urge to arch in the lower back. Keep drawing the ribs together in the front of the body, shoulder blades together in the back. Keeping the tailbone heavy, maintaining a neutral spine. Option to extend the leg as you drop it down, bend it as you bring it back in. Maintaining a neutral spine the whole time. Keep breathing. Engaging through your core. Draw the knees into the chest, lift the head, neck, and shoulder blades. Take both hands to the right shin, extend the left leg, and then switch. Good. Keeping those shoulder blades at a hover the entire time. Drawing the navel down. Good. Keep breathing. Option to take hands behind the head. Keep the shoulder blades lifted. Keep moving those legs. Take both knees into the chest and lower the head, neck, and shoulders. Take the arms long by your side. Flex the feet and extend the legs over your hips. We're dropping one leg to the floor at a time. Resisting the urge to arch in the lower back. Just maintaining a neutral spine so you can have that natural curve in your lower back, but don't let it get bigger as you drop your leg down. Just lower your leg to your point of control and then bring it back up. We're walking both hands up the right leg, lift the head, neck, and shoulder blades, drop the left leg, and then switch. Good. Keeping the shoulder blades lifted, just lowering your leg to your point of control. Keep breathing, shoulders down and away from the ears. Option to take your hands behind your head and keep moving the legs. Try to keep the shoulder blades lifted. Keep breathing and resisting the urge to arch in the lower back. Bring the knees in, lower the head, neck, and shoulders. We'll take hand over hand to the back of the head, coming into oblique curls. Lift one shoulder blade off the floor at a time. Keep your hips anchored so the hips don't move. We're just rotating at the ribs. Look from one side of the room to the other. Lift the legs into a tabletop position. Think opposite armpit towards opposite knee. So you're really peeling the shoulder blade up, not just moving the elbows. Good. Just lowering your leg to your point of control. Bring the knees in, lower the head, neck, and shoulders. Arms long by your side. Engage your core. We're lowering both legs down and then bringing them over the hips. Only lowering them as far as you can without changing your spine. So if that's 2 inches down and 2 inches up, that's okay. Option to have a bend in the knees. Draw the ribs together in the front of the body, shoulder blades together in the back. Bending the knees. We'll continue dropping both legs down and then bringing the knees back over your hips, arcing those thighs away from your body, trying not to change anything in your spine. Keep that core tight and breathe. From here, extend the legs out on a diagonal and then bend the knees back into the chest. Only extending the legs to your point of control. So if you're arching your back, reach the legs a little bit higher. Draw the knees into the chest, lift the head, neck, and shoulder blades. We'll reach arms and legs out on a diagonal, keeping the shoulder blades lifted. Keep gazing towards your thighs, peeling shoulder blades up and lower the head, neck, and shoulder blades. Take the feet to your floor. Reach overhead. We're rolling up one vertebrae at a time. You can grab on behind your thighs to bring yourself all the way up to sitting. Get right on top of your sit bones. Shoulders away from the ears, core engaged. Lean back, shoulders behind the hips, then sit back up. You can keep holding on behind your thighs for support so that your arms can assist your core. Keeping the spine long. Option to let go of your thighs. Just reach the fingertips forward in front of the shoulders. Finding a long line from the top of the head to the tailbone. Hold it on your lean back. We're reaching one arm back at a time, taking the bicep beside the ear. Good, maintaining that lean back, keeping your core engaged, shoulders away from the ears. Bring yourself up to sitting. Take a breath. We're leaning back again. Take hand over hand to the back of the head. Rotate through the head, neck, and shoulders. Extend the arms to a T. Come back through center and rotate to the other side. So we're twisting through the upper body, keeping the hips and legs perfectly still. Seeing if you can tap the mat behind you as you extend the arms. Sit up tall. We're coming on to the hands and knees. Take the knees right under the hips, hands under the shoulders. From here, engage your core, find your neutral spine. We're dropping the chest down and pushing it back up. Keep your arms straight. Feel the shoulder blades slide together and then apart in the back. Focusing on the space between the shoulder blades, contracting and expanding. Keeping that lower abdominal wall engaged. Tuck the toes under and hover the knees. Tap the knees down and bring them back to a hover. Maintaining that neutral spine. Think the lower abdominal wall is working to pick up those knees to a hover. Lower the knees, untuck the toes. We're taking opposite hand, opposite knee off the mat for a small hover, and then switch to the other side. Try to keep the hips and the body as still as possible. So the core is working to stabilize as you hover hand and knee. Reaching the arm and leg long as you lift opposite hand and opposite foot off the floor. Just lifting to hip and shoulder height. Try to avoid changing the spine as you lift your leg. Let the glute work to pick up the leg. Last two. And last one. Stepping one foot back at a time into a high plank position. Keep the core engaged, looking for your neutral spine. Just breathing here. And then lower yourself all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes. Take hand over hand under the forehead. Engage the core, draw the belly button up, and lift one leg at a time off the floor without lifting your hip off the floor. So hips stay anchored. Engage the glute to pick up the leg. Good. There should be no pain in the lower back. If there is, don't lift as high. Leave the legs down. Peeling the head, neck, and shoulders away from the floor now. Just lifting the chest and head to a hover and then lower back down. Option to take your arms with you as you lift the chest. Hands stay glued to the forehead. Back of the neck stays long. Shoulders are away from the ears. Last two. And one. Extend the arms wider than the shoulders. Peel the chest away from the floor to a place you can hold it. We're lifting opposite arm, opposite leg. Keeping both hips anchored on the floor. Keeping the back of the neck long. Shoulders away from the ears. Engaging the glute to pick up the leg. And breathing. Last two. And last one. Lower everything down. Take the hands beside the chest, engage the core, and press yourself away from the mat. Finding a neutral spine, step one foot back at a time. One more time, hold that high plank. Breathe and keep the core engaged. Keep breathing through this. Good. Lower the knees to the floor. Send the hips back to the heels. Find a child's pose. Letting the hips sit heavy on the heels. Bringing yourself onto your hands and knees. Let's take a cat-cow. Arching the back, sending head and tailbone up, and contracting, sending head and tailbone down. Inhale to look up and exhale to look down. Taking as much time as you need. That will be our Pilates workout for today. Thank you so much for joining me.